So recently there have been a lot of these FO or fuck around and find out videos that's flying around these YouTube streets, and they're mostly aimed at our white brothers and sisters. But a lot of black people are like, oh, this ain't our fight. We sitting this one out. We sipping tea. We this and that. Bip, bop, bam. Listen, and I get it. And I'm not talking about y'all that's been fighting the good fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't who I'm talking about. But I ain't seen too many videos about you darkies. Well, it seems like what I've predicted for every bit of like 30 plus years now is actually true. He just looks at black people like little trinkets, you know, like a cool cufflink or an ornament. Nothing more than window dressing to throw you a bone, and then they drizzle in a little bit of trans in there. And even they've gotten to the point where they can even sprinkle in a little bit of DEI in there and niggas still eat it up. But inside the warm confines of power behind that window, ain't no place for you, boy. And when I look at it, for every black person that Trump pardoned, he turned loose another 100 violent, racist, fraudsters, loyalists, and link in the description. But for all the blacks for Trump who have been carrying the water, where y'all at?
Out on his knees in the sand to get married to a woman for the first time in his life at nearly 60 years old and professed his undying affection for Donald Trump.
I just love you.
And he still didn't get a job.
Where y'all at? Old Byron Donald, the human buttermilk biscuit himself.
Yesterday that your name is very high on his list of people he's considering as a running mate. Would you be ready on day one to serve as commander-in-chief if necessary?
Well, I think if you're going to step into that job, it's obviously the toughest job, the biggest job, not just in our politics, but really, frankly, in the world. Look, I think that I would have an ability to step in. I'm actually pretty intelligent. I can sift through issues really, really well. It's about judgment. It's about logic streams. It's about how you make decisions at the end of the day.
There were many who speculated that based on the prominent role you played in this campaign and election, that your name would have skyrocketed to at least the front of the line. We are several cabinet picks in. Are you not surprised that you have not been named? Have you had a conversation about being a part of the administration at all?
All I will say is I am not surprised that I have not been named, but that does not mean I'm not going to do other things in the future.
Has he asked you?
No, there's some other things that I'm looking at going forward.
Like?
I'm not going to talk about them now.
It's still outside in the cold, looking through that window that they stuck him up in the first place, just to. And not really, and you know what? They don't use Byron Donald to get like black votes. That's just for like some of their supporters that's like, you know, a little bit uneasy with like some of the Nazi shit. It's for them to be able to point at and be like, oh, look, you know, see Byron Donald's, you know, he's good. You know, we're not racist. I mean, y'all get the game. At least you should anyway. It ain't that hard to figure out. Looking through the window with the rest of you dipshits. So one of the first things your master Trump did was cancel all visas from all African countries, not just one African country, two African countries, but from all African countries. Trump and Musk and his people, they look at it like, God damn, way too many darkies in this country. Would you believe it? I went out to eat last night and there was an African black waiting my table. Oh no, hell no. Ain't no more blacks coming here from these shithole countries. Then Musk Nazi ass come out talking about, oh, I can't put Starlink in South Africa because I'm white. Totally leaving out the fact that he's attacking USAID, because they put his ass under investigation for using Starlink for nefarious purposes. Oh boy, ain't that a coincidence?
Can't put Starlink in South Africa because I'm white.
Man, get your pasty white pink ass out of here. I actually applaud, I salute South Africa's move to give you the middle finger you deserve, you fucking piece of shit. And my blacks for Trump folk, you know what? Ain't no difference in you and what you say when it comes to the anti-black white nationalist Klan folk with red hats. Y'all selectively pick your reality. Let me ask you, Miss Black Lady. Oh, let me ask you, Miss Black. let me ask you, Miss Black Lady, are you being paid or are you just uninformed Trump supporter?
You don't have people listening to Big Mama anymore making their decisions about voting. And when you have people like Barack Obama and Roland Martin, that they're speaking down to the Black community, Charlemagne the God now that you're bringing on, and you're speaking down actually to intelligent Black men. But because they don't agree with your Democratic rhetoric, they become what? Uneducated.
So let me get this straight. Your manly man, Trump, can talk that shit about Zelensky in a safe space with people clapping and co-signing that bullshit.
A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. Got to move fast.
But when he's in the same room sitting right in Trump's face, he can't even own up to what he said and then try to deny it.
I still think that Mr. Zelensky is a dictator.
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
Get your auntie ruckus ass out of here, you fucking loser. And I know that most of you Black Trump supporters have always, since you were little kids, years before the Orange Jabba the Hutt even ran for office, y'all for like years have been the black dude in the room talking about, I ain't African, I'm American. Don't try to put that black on me. Don't try to put that black on me. Don't try to put that black on me. Yeah, that's that African black. So my last point might actually be applauded by y'all, Black Trumpers. His attempt to shut down the U.S. African Development Foundation. Now, unlike y'all who, because of your white nationalist, Western upbringing and propaganda, which I was a victim of as well, let's keep it real, y'all don't want shit to do nor want to be associated with anything Africa or African. But me personally, I've always had a different outlook on that whole situation. But that's just me. But all of these moves, it even falls in line also with like the firing of QC Brown. A highly decorated 3-star general with a serious resume, who was the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And unlike you blacks for Trumpers, when he made it, he didn't forget his Newport News upbringing. And Trump ain't like that shit. And this dipshit, a former Fox News host, can you fucking believe it, is now the head of the military and has accomplished nothing compared to CQ Brown. And y'all niggas talking about, well, we don't need DEI, we don't need that shit. This is exactly why. Because y'all motherfuckers know that CQ Brown had to be twice as good to get to this point in his career, only to get fired and have Trump give the job to fucking Stifler. Now, I understand. So for me and you, or mostly, at least for myself, for a working stiff like me, I might not feel the effects of DEI, at least not right away, or maybe not at all. It's going to hurt us in the corporate sector for sure. You're talking about generational wealth in the Black community. We don't need DEI, man. That's gay. DEI ain't ever did shit for Black folk. But you think that shit make you sound cool? It don't. It make you sound fucking stupid. And it tells me that you're not paying attention. And if you were paying attention on the first day of dictator school, remember what they teach you on the first day of dictator school, you purge the military leadership. Okay, listen, any of you blacks for Trump, tell me when any of your greatest hits, some of your favorite love to hate Democrats, you know who they are. Tell me when they ever purged the military like this. I'll wait. Exactly, because it never happened. Really never in the history of this country. Just straight purging all of the top leadership in the military. Purging the military leadership is what they do. That's what they teach you on the first day of dictator school. They already took the courts over with the help of the Heritage Foundation. And unfortunately, most of you black people that support Trump don't even know who or what the Heritage Foundation is or what it does, because you didn't pay attention on the first day of dictator school. So Biden, he can actually put the first black woman on the Supreme Court, and then Trump can turn around and fire C.Q. Brown and appoint Stifler the head of the military. Make it make sense. Make that weird ass shit make sense. Now listen, this is not a celebration of old sleepy, creepy, rickety. Not at all. It's just looking at the reality of the situation, my friend. And like I've said before, the Democrats are your weakest enemy, black people. The Republicans will shoot you in the face in broad daylight in the street like a fucking dog, and then turn around and change the laws to make it legal. And then they'll turn around and play in your face and make jokes about it. And you fools will find a way to bend reality. So you can actually say, oh, that shit's cool. That shit's gangster. When all the while the end game is to put us on trains and send us to fucking Auschwitz. Real talk. This is JD at Giant TV. Love y'all, man. Out. So there you have it. And it's going to get worse. Shutting down the veteran suicide hotline. Just totally illogical shit. You have to ask yourself, like, is it illogical or is it evil? Is it on purpose or are you incompetent? Donald Trump is the orange Jabba the Hutt. And Elon Musk is not fucking Tony Starks. He's Victor Von Doom.